Hello, Japedians. Welcome back to Akomolafe family channel. This is Bumi Akomolafe. Nigeria is indeed a challenging place. All in all, I give thanks to God because we are still here, going strong. And yes, I know I look tired. It's bedtime already. This is past 10 o'clock at night. So yeah, getting ready for bed. Nigeria is tough. And there's something happening right now with the weather that I seem to find quite distressing. Like I can't really cope. And that might just be a deal breaker because I mean, who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? Having gone through a few challenges, yeah, like settling down, getting the right staffing, with all the day-to-day challenges with fixing things and all that. And then the one that would potentially be a deal breaker would be this heat. Nigeria is very hot right now. Like the temperatures have just gone up. I remember just last month we were talking about Nigeria being too cold. And all of a sudden now, we are talking about Nigeria being too hot. It is so uncomfortably hot. It is so hot that you feel like your skin is melting. I don't know about other people. I've been here now 3 months plus, and I thought that by now I'd have settled. And people had warned me about the heat, that happens, the weather around November, December. And I did not imagine that it was going to be this hot. My inverter broke down 2 nights ago. And now I just come back from the shop and something happened with the fuse. I think one of the fuse got burnt or something like that. They said it was too much load or something like that. And it was like 4 hours of no light. And that just plunged us into like, I can't describe it. We were all so irritated. There was so much irritation. The children were crying so much. We were scratching. We were sweaty, like sweat that would get your clothes soaked. At my shop, I go to shop now with 3, 4 clothing, and it doesn't matter whether the AC is on or not. I mean, my shop is always cool, but I find that in that cool, I am still hot, and I felt, oh, maybe it's just me. But I noticed that other people too are complaining about the same thing, and then once you step out of my shop, you can tell the difference. When you are within the shop, that's when you know the AC is actually working, even though it feels like it's not working. It's when you step outside that you know that, oh, that AC is actually working. And nah, I've had enough of this heat. Um, just to kind of cushion 24 hours light that I'm working with all this while, I had to go and get a generator. Because somebody said, get a generator to power your solar system, your batteries, if there's no light. I had to go and get a generator now to power the batteries so that then I can have AC overnight. When there's AC on like this, like right now, it feels cool, it feels relaxing. And the battery I've just charged now with generator because there was no light earlier today. And that has given me some power that I can use to manage AC until the early hours of the morning before I'll have to turn off the AC because I find that the AC draw a lot of power and that runs the battery down very quickly. So it's a lot to like, I mean, look at how much I've learned within the last 3 months. I'm the one doing changeovers, I'm the one putting on the gen. It's just, it's now getting to the point that it's getting a bit too much. And so it's a complex system. Even in my shop, like people that that yes, these people shower this morning before coming out, to mingle with people. You've seen them in the morning, you see them like 3, 4 hours later, and you just want to put them out of your shop because of the odor that will come with them, from the sweat and the stickiness, and it's just too much. I know the UK is experiencing the opposite right now because they are having very cold weather, but you know how it is with human beings. When it's too cold over there, we complain. Now we are at the extreme end. Now that it's too hot, we are complaining. So we don't want both extreme. We just want it nicely balanced. But in all, we are grateful to God for the gift of life. We just have to keep going. Yeah. So that brings me to the topic of today. Enough of my rants. Somebody contacted me. A Japanian contacted me, who is intending to Japada as well to Nigeria, and the questions that she asked me kind of got me thinking about even my own self. And it's not like these things are not things that I've kind of thought about before. It just makes it more realistic now that I'm here. That hey, come to think of it, how do you want to kind of design this with Japada? And the lady's question was, she said she has 4 kids, her husband, so it's a family of 6, and the children are quite young. She's got babies who are still under, I think about under 18 months. She's got 2 other children, and she's had enough. She's fed up of abroad country. She wants to go back to Nigeria and raise her kids. She described what I felt many months ago when I had it with my job, with the lifestyle. I just wanted a change of scenery, and that was really affecting my mental health. And she described what she was describing made me remember that moment when I was at that point. So I said to her, I said, yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you are going through. And she wants to come back to Nigeria, and I asked her a few questions myself before she started then asking me questions. The first question I asked her was, how prepared are you financially? Are you well saved up? Do you have a job that you want to do over there? Have you invested in things? How do you intend to, sustain yourself? And she said that they work from home presently, but that the husband then will be able to work from home when they're in Nigeria. She won't be able to do that, so she will be giving up her job, whilst the husband will be working from home. So I said to her, well, if your husband's salary can sustain the family, then that's a good start. And she also said that all her family members are already abroad and she doesn't have any support base in terms of having family and friends around. That's, it's always advisable to have people to support you. But in our own case, I don't think it's quite necessary because she's got her husband, so they can always work together. So that also was not really what I was concerned about. She said she'd not bought a property yet and they plan to rent. And they also have a farmland that they've bought, a huge farmland that they intend to go into agriculture. So I said, to be honest, she wanted to hear my opinion and how I've been coping, and if I were to turn back the hand of the clock, would I have taken this decision or would I take this decision all over again? So I said to her, I said, well, the first thing I always say to people is, in as much as people tell me that I inspire them with this relocation, because I know where I was at before I decided to pick up my bag. I always encourage people to plan Jakpada according to their own situation. Everybody's situation is different. You cannot plan your Jakpada using my own story or my own circumstance. And you cannot plan somebody else's Jakpada with your own. You have to consider yourself and what you want out of this relocation journey. Nigeria is a complex country. It is a very complex country. Like, you will meet all kinds of people, majority of whom lack integrity. And I'm saying that with confidence. Apologies to Nigerians, but we have to call a spade a spade. You know? So I said to her, I said, you have to be prepared to face the challenges that come with Nigeria. Nigeria is not as straightforward as you think. But if you know that you're at that point where you cannot cope anymore, and you know that, yes, your mental health, like my own case, is calling out for that change of scenery and wanting to be in an environment where you feel comfortable, then by all means. But please do ensure that you take care of your finances, because Nigeria is very, very expensive. And I said to her that I've been coping fine. The children are settling well. At the beginning, we had a lot of phases where we had to kind of explain things to them and what they should expect, how to handle things, that they should speak up. We gave them the support that they needed, even at their school, helped them to settle down. So I let her know that those were the things that we faced at the beginning. But now we are nearly 4 months into Japada, and they are settled down. We already have a routine working for us. And so I would say give it 3 months, time to settle. One of the things that I considered being a mom with kids is I moved to the area where I found the schools that I wanted my kids to go. And that's one of the major things. I moved to the area where I know that, okay, this is where my children will be going to school. And then I thought about the fact that I don't want to sit down at home, because I know staying at home, not doing anything would kind of affect me mentally. So I decided to start a business. And I thought about, okay, what passion do I have that I want to bring alive? I thought, okay, I love to go into charity work. So I thought, okay, I might as well start a charity shop and then register a charity somewhere down the line, and I can work with the people in the community on a small scale, really. And then just whilst I'm here, look at kind of venture into other things I have passion in. I love properties, and I've been dabbling into properties for a while now, both in the UK as well and here in Nigeria. So I've been looking towards that as well. So that's my story. And I said to her that my own Jakwada is different because even though I would have loved to come to Nigeria earlier than now, which would have given me the opportunity to bring all of my kids. But unfortunately, I didn't have the capacity to do it earlier. And now that I'm doing it, I'm only able to bring three of my kids because the two older ones are much older now. And they are, still in the UK, facing their higher education. And that is the reason why my husband has got to stay there with them. So the situation is the family is a little bit divided in the sense that one of us has to stay there with the kids to make sure that they're doing what they should be doing, and that person will be going and coming. Whilst I stay here with the rest of the kids, and sometimes we will go there and visit. So that's our own scenario at the moment. So that is why you cannot plan somebody else's japada with your own story. And another thing that I said to her was having children, you need to think about what sort of relocation plan do you have for those kids? Are you removing them from the abroad country where you are? 100%. In the sense that, are you taking them to Nigeria to complete, like, say, the entire secondary school, or the entire primary and secondary school, or the entirety of their lives? You don't want them to come back to their abroad country anymore until they are adults, old enough now to make decisions for themselves. Those are the things you need to think about. And she said she wants them to study primary and secondary education in Nigeria, and then they can come abroad, back to their abroad country for their university. So I said, well, that's a good plan. I, on the other hand, my kids obviously are different ages, and I want my son to get close to finishing his secondary school year, and I want him to prepare for GCSE over there in the UK, and then write his GCSE and go to college over there. So I know that whatever he learns within now and the next 4 years, nobody will be able to take that away from him. And I said to her that one of the things that I cherish most is the fact that they are seeing a different culture entirely. They see how people reason here. They've seen people reason differently to what they are used to. A few weeks back or a few months back, where I have to be explaining to them that you don't say this to an adult, you don't say that to an adult. Now they are understanding now that no, this is not what I should be saying. This is not allowed. This is not right for me to say. And this is what I should be saying. So we're not having those issues anymore now. And that's the truth. And then my son, in terms of responsibility now, is doing more. For example, there are times that because at the school I did ask for 5 uniforms, that will cover him from Monday to Friday, but then they said no, they're only going to give him 1 blazer and 2 white shirts and 2 trousers, and it's up to him how he chooses to manage that for the rest of the week. So I said, well, you are coming 12 years old now, you're not a baby anymore, you need to sort yourself. All I just have to do is to make sure that your clothes are ironed. I observe that he doesn't wash his uniform. Like, he's worn the first 2 whites, Monday, Tuesday. Come Wednesday now, there's nothing to wear. So he forgets to wash it at night, and then first thing in the morning is remember, oh, I've not washed my uniform. Then he runs to go and wash by hand. I mean, my son washes by hand now, which is like something I never thought would ever happen. It's his own clothes. I didn't give him my clothes to wash, and it's just his white shirt that he needs to wash. And he washes by hand very early in the morning. And I remember this particular morning, he was panicking everywhere. Oh, I've just washed my clothes. It's going to be wet. There's no way. I'm sorry, I forgot, blah, blah, blah. And he ran to my brother's room because my brother was with me at the time. And he ran to my brother's room to ask him how he was going to dry the shirt. So my brother taught him the method that we used when we were young. Because what he's doing now, we did it at our own time as well. I used to wash my uniform very early in the morning. And we used to spread it on a long towel, and then we squeeze. So somebody is holding at the other end, so we squeeze with a towel, and that dries it like halfway, and then we just hang it in front of a fan for like maybe an hour or so. So you have to kind of wake up very early to do that. And when my brother taught him that method, he was so happy. Like, he came to tell me, "Oh, Mom, I found a way to dry my clothes early in the morning." And he was like so proud of himself. So I said, "What way have you learned?" And he was showing me this way. So I was laughing like I'd never seen it before. But he didn't know that I did the same thing when I was young. So I didn't tell him that. I didn't want him to say, "Mommy, so you two were like this when you were younger." But we all did it anyway. So to see him now being responsible for something, like running to say, I have to look well, I have to present well to school, it's a huge improvement. It's come a long way. And I'm so happy about that. The way he's really, like kind of looking after himself, that kind of thing. He's not always depending on me 100% to do things for him. So that's some of the benefits of coming to Nigeria. They are learning the culture. When he's making jokes like things like saying, pure water. You know, like you can say pure water. I said, what is pure water? I said, why you always shouting pure water, pure water? He said Nigerians will say pure water. That they don't call the water. They don't say water. They say pure water. So he's imitating all those street people when they are saying pure water. He likes saying that and he's always imitating them. Whereas my little girl on the other hand is she's learning the Yoruba insults. You know that's what they learn first when you want to learn language. Huh? So it's fun to see all those things. Those things kind of make me happy. It doesn't make me feel like I'm missing out in life, if that makes any sense, considering that I've left my career to come and do this. So those were the things that I was encouraging this lady with. And I said, well, you have young children too. If you are prepared to lower your standard, if you are prepared to deal with people that lack integrity, you will find that a lot here. A lot of Nigerians, a lot of artisans lack integrity. Like, there are so many things I don't talk about on my page. Because if I were to be talking about these things, I'll be discouraging people. And at the same time, I do not want to discourage people because I cannot tell you that your father's land is bad. Like one of the Japadians was telling me when I was complaining to her that, this heat is too much. I was complaining about the heat. You know, that I don't think I'm coping well with this and another. She said, well, this is where we've come from. Are we going to deny our fatherland? So when she said that, I was like, oh, my countenance just changed. And I was like, come to think of it, this mama is very right. She's very correct. This is our father's land. This is where we lived before we went abroad in the first place. So we need to kind of find a way to get used to this. So I don't want to discourage people, but unfortunately, you are going to deal with a lot of people that lack integrity. I'll give you a good example. The cloth rails that I did for my shop, you know, the ones I hang clothes on. Somebody did a very shoddy one for me. I'm just managing it at the shop. So I met one of my neighbors who is into fashion as well. He's a man, but he dresses up queens and royalties and, you know, like TV stars and all those things. So he's setting up his studio in his house where he's needing to make those rails as well. So somebody made the rails for him and I saw, oh, this person made a better job than the one I have in my shop. So I asked him, I said, who did this job? He told me. And I said, how much did they charge you? He told me. I said, okay, introduce that person. Let that person come to me. I want them to make me a couple as well. So he gave the person my number. And the person texted me. So I said, come to my shop. Come and see the job I have for you. So when he came, I gave him a small job first, just to see how he's going to do it. So whilst he was quoting for that, and I said, okay, you did rail for my friend. Can you do the same for me? Oh, he said, yes, yes. And I said, okay, please, how much did you charge my friend? Him not knowing that, I'd already asked my friend how much he was charged. He said to me that he charged my friend 45,000. Meanwhile, he only charged my friend 30,000. So this man had come to my shop. He's saying that, oh, this woman is she's got a business. She looks like somebody that you can rip off. Sometimes I even hear my daughter's accent. I call it confused accent now because sometimes she speaks Nigerian accent, then the next minute she's switching back to UK accent. You probably heard the confused accent and felt, okay, these ones are from abroad. And let me just add 15,000 for her. So I just got furious immediately. I was like, why are you people like this? I couldn't even hold back. And that's what I'm learning to do now, that I should try to express myself less. Because this one, I couldn't even hold it back. I just said, why are you people like this? I said, why do you people lack integrity so much? I said, why did lie? I asked him, I said, why are you lying? I said, no, I'm not going to work with you. Guess what this guy did? Instead of him to admit and say, oh, I'm sorry, madam. Okay, I'll do it for you for 30 and apologize and would have ended it there. He tried to cover up that lie with another lie. And the next thing he said was, it was that my friend that told him that he should tell me 45, that he actually charged him 35. But it was my friend that told him to tell me 45. And that was a lie. That was a huge lie. It wasn't that my friend that told him to tell me 45. And he did not charge him 35. So instead of him to admit, he was still lying and covering up. But well, that's just one of it. Like, you get it. Yeah, we have people who are like surviving on cuts here and cuts there. Like when somebody costs some certain thing, a certain amount, you know, we bump it up here and add your own, you know, all this kind of thing. And if you're not careful, if you're not like grounded in your belief, like me being a Christian and me being grounded in my own values, you won't know when you are going to flow into that kind of lifestyle. I'm telling you the truth. If you are not disciplined like that, to say, yes, I want to surround myself, even in the midst of all these people that lack integrity, I want to surround myself with the right kind of people, the people with the right mindset, you will become one of them in no time. You will become somebody who is, like not being honest, you are being dishonest yourself. That's how Nigeria can brainwash people. I've seen it happen, So it's good to always be on the positive side and see how to pull people into the light, as opposed to crossing into darkness with them. So I know I'm digressing a lot, but I'm just using my own experience now to explain to this lady, and I said to her that I would advise you to buy or to rent a whole house, considering that you have small children. You don't want to be having neighbor issues or somebody being envious or all those kind of things that happen in a flat situation. I would advise you, since you are renting, rent a whole house where you have your own self compound, your children can play and then you can be relaxed. Especially now that your children are still young. Flats are mostly for people who have older kids. That's what I think. Or people who are elderly couple, older couple, or people who are looking to do short lets and buy to let and all those kind of thing. Yeah. So that was my advice for her. I don't know if there's anything I've missed out. Those who have already jackpotted, please chip in and let's hear your own opinion as well for this lady, because she did give me the permission to share this question online and see what Japadians will say. And another thing that we cannot shy from right now is the insecurity issue that is happening in certain places in Nigeria. And I don't expect all Japadians now to come from Lagos. People come from the north. People come from all other parts of Nigeria. I don't know about other regions. I don't know about, it's only what we see over the news that we all watch together. But I would say do your proper investigation. Check with relatives, check with family and friends, check for areas that are relatively safe for you to return to. A lot of people are returning every time and people are doing well here. Yeah, so security should be on people's list right now, as well as how to finance your stay. Because I think that if you don't get that finance right, you are going to run back again immediately, honestly. And yeah, so for me now, I keep talking about multiple sources of income. We've been talking about that since the UK. It's not a new thing I'm talking about now. For those that are just joining us, multiple sources of income. And you can say me, I'm dabbling into everything. Anything I know that, okay, people are even saying that I'm doing property now. I'm not going to other places to do property. It's just because of this one that I know that is good. I'm not a realtor. I'm not running about showing anybody property. I've just mentioned this one because I have met the MD. I've had discussions. All their workers are my friends. So I know a lot about their company now. That's why I brought their property to my page. So you won't see me going from property to property to, that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm not doing that. But there are so many other things that I'm venturing into, and I intend to do for both pleasure and hopefully to support my finances as well. So yeah, so Nigeria is a hustle land. So, but in that hustle, you still have fun. Yeah. So everybody should tailor their jackpot to their own situation. I don't want this video to be a lengthy one. And I want to say that a lot of Japadians are coming to patronize me. Japadian came all the way from Ikorodu to come and buy things from my shop. And apologies to those who are asking for photographs. People are asking me to send them videos and send them photographs all over the place. I just sometimes just hang the clothes somewhere, and I know it's not showing the beauty of these clothes. It's not showing the quality. So some of these clothes, if you hold them, come face to face with them, you see how beautiful they look. And if you're not wearing these clothes on the mannequin, for example, you will not see the beauty. And I have I can't tell you how many clothes are in that shop. There are clothes in suitcases I've not even touched. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know how many photographs I have to send you. So if I've sent you photographs, it's just because I'm very busy and I've just quickly sent them. And I do not blame you when you don't say anything, because I know that you've not seen the beauty of the clothes or the items. Somebody has advised me to try and take at least 10 a day. And 10 a day would mean I am putting clothes on mannequin, take a photograph, take the clothes off, put another one, which is what I plan to do anyway. So if I'm doing 10 every day, say if I do 10 Monday to Friday, by Friday I would have 50. So I'm hoping that maybe next week I'll be able to do that and then showcase that on my next video, just do a slideshow so that people can see some of the things that we have. So I will try to slide that in on the next video. I just want to thank everybody for following us on this journey. Thank you so much. And thank you, Japadians. Keep coming, keep supporting our business. And I will catch you on the next video. Bye-bye. Done
Let's go. I need designer label, make I tell you straight. Shopping smart for the grip, that's how we elevate. London label shop, flexing, find my treasure every time. Fresh fit, unique style, yeah, I'm feeling so fine. London labels, that's where I get my drip drop. London labels, rocking like I'm on top. London labels, never gonna stop. London labels, this is how we pop. The body love the way I dress with confidence and flair. Second hand but first class, turning heads everywhere. No go follow fashion rules, I they create my own wave. Spending less but looking blessed, that's the money I save. London labels, that's where